What is going on, guys? It is your boy TKD123 here, back again here on PlayStation Source. Look at me, my first recording of the new age, 25. I'm old as hell. Look at me, I'm already getting, look at this, man. I'm already washed
Quarter
up.
century old. Quarter century old.
Quarter century old. I think my first video I made when I was 15, so 10 years of content. God damn it, Jesus Christ! I've been doing this shit for 10 years. Fuck. This is, of course, Let's Watch The Last of Us HBO, episode 7, where we are going week to week with our thoughts and review of The Last of Us HBO on the episode-by-episode basis, ending in a review for season 1 as a whole. Okay, so one little quick interstitial, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Production talk. You know, you're a producer, I'm a producer. Let's just talk, Philip, right? In the shower, I was like, okay, we're probably going to do... So we have episode 8 and then episode 9, right?
Yes.
Episode 9 will be, if you're cool with this, which I think it'll be cool with this, a little half and half episode where we, of course, are going over the episode 9 review, and then we're going to have a conversation about the season as a whole. And I think that will end off the series. I think that's a lot better than coming back and looking back on the whole season. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Overall,
I think
a lot of fresh thoughts.
Yeah. I think that's me. That's gonna be the better move. I feel like I've been wording it like it's gonna be separate. In my mind, maybe I thought it was gonna be separate, but probably gonna be one episode. You know what I'm saying? So we got 2 more to go after this. But who will be on those 2 episodes is who has been on this. That didn't make sense. Who's been on this podcast for the last 7 weeks with me, of course, Mario Rivera, co-founder of Point of the Progress, Point of All the Progresses. How are you doing, good sir?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for that intro. I am just keeping it together. I'm not feeling left behind by this episode. I'm very happy where we are right now.
Indeed.
Yes.
Just got home from your lovely city. You know what I'm saying? Listen, Chicago.
I'm feeling better, by the way.
Yes, that's good.
Yes. Yeah.
And now I got a little scratching
Chicago flavor.
I got a little something from Chicago. I don't know what it is, but I got a little something in my throat. Hopefully that's not anything too crazy.
No, for sure.
Great city, man. It's just I just don't know if I could deal with snow. Like that's it snowed while I was there. I think it was Friday night.
Yes, it did.
Very nice little snowfall. You know what I'm saying? I definitely enjoyed that. It's rare I get to see snowfall. So. That was cool.
And then it was gone by the end of the night. So
Indeed.
There you go.
Indeed. It was a quick one. Down below, before we get to all that, Mario, where can people find you?
Of course, you can find me over at Point in Progress, where we do all the things, talking about stuff that we love and talking critically about them, as well as the MC University, where we talk about older and other Marvel movies other than the MCU. So not Ant-Man Quantumania, but more like Blade 2. All right, we're talking about Blade 2. We're talking about Fantastic Rise of the Silver Surfer, those kind of movies.
How'd you feel about Ant-Man?
I thought it was okay for the most part. It didn't move the needle in major directions. I had fun with some of the character stuff that they reveal in the movie, but other than that, it was fine.
Yeah, wasn't too blown away by it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think it was like absolute horrible. You know what I'm saying? Like I can say with a straight face, like I enjoyed this movie more than Thor: Love and Thunder.
I can say that too.
Thor really, like, that shit broke me, bro. That one broke me in a way. I'm like, dog, I was looking forward to this, but Kang, we love Kang. You know what I'm saying?
I just noticed something on that key guy. Okay, we'll talk about it. But I just noticed something in this little screenshot.
Oh shit! Okay. Let's get back to business. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about MC. By the way, please go check out MC University. A name, one of those names. I'm like, fuck, that's fucking good. You know, that's real good. That's fucking good. Fucking good. Down below, links to all those, as well as Annie Wershing's GoFundMe down below as well. We'll be here for all future episodes as well of this series. The original actress for Tess, who passed away earlier in the recording of this series as a whole a few weeks ago. This GoFundMe will go and support her family that is still here as well with us. So RIP to Annie, the original actress for Tess in the game. No news. Didn't say anything crazy. You know what I'm saying? So
No.
we're gonna get right into it. You know what I'm saying? The last was episode 7. Properly, not properly like there's a good or bad way, but like nicely titled Left Behind. This is,
Yes.
of course, the episode focused on the Left Behind DLC. That if you're playing just the vanilla game itself, they don't have this section in the main game. However, it takes place during this time in the main game. It makes a lot more sense when you go and play the DLC. If you buy part 1, it is included in that installment. I believe it's also bundled in with the remastered version from 2014.
It is.
I believe so as well.
Play it with that.
Yeah, but I know for sure it's in part 1, all remade and such. If you're looking to play it on PS5,
Very nice.
And yeah, man. I said we just get. I don't even have my notes open on my phone. What am I doing? I told you. Listen, 25 from here, it's downhill, bro. I'm telling you, man. Listen, man.
You just get older. You just get older. That's it.
I got my life alert on order, bro. Shit's about to be crazy.
Your AARP membership's already on the way. You're getting straight up, man. Quarter-life century.
Oh man, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Oh man. We arrive at this neighborhood that I'm assuming it's the same. Now, this is in the game. This is in the mall, right? In the modern timeline mall, because there's two different malls in Left Behind. We don't see it. We don't see the modern timeline mall.
No.
In The Last of Us, which you correctly guessed, where it's like, hey, there's not much there. You know, there's a story about some federal agents and all that, and you know, there's some stuff there, but none. Or are they federal? They might be military.
Military or hunters or whatever's into being, because they kind of connect into David's story in a way. So maybe, maybe they're part of that. I'm not sure.
But we don't get that here. Instead, it looks like Ellie just takes Joel straight to the neighborhood.
Yes.
And
like
the basement house.
That neighborhood.
Yeah.
It looks just like it. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a bit of a that's a jump, because I guess we never get, because I guess we only get Ellie dragging Joel on horseback after Left Behind, right? And they go towards the ski resort. Okay.
Yeah, because at that point they are in the actual neighborhood. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. So a little bit different stuff there, but I get it. That first mall, the modern era mall, is not really that eventful, really, of all. Nothing really happens there that's really too pressing. But
no, I think this was a way better way to frame the episode overall.
Yeah, for sure. So not much here, but just some things I want to mention worth. Joel telling Elliot to go back to Tommy, where he thinks that he's just gonna die out here. He doesn't. He thinks it's it. Which is like,
ready.
hey, shedding tears never
go.
I just love when Ellie's like, Joel, shut the fuck up, and like the intensity of that, that was a good shut the fuck up, Ellie.
Yeah,
that was a good one. But not much there. I don't know if you had anything to comment on, because Ellie's about to leave, but then she stops, and this is where we kind of get in her headspace where she's thinking about the event of Left Behind with Riley and all that, which takes us to into the majority of the episode. So if you had anything to say before we go into that,
No, it's interesting how Joel is sort of resigned to this is enough of a wound for him to die. Obviously, it is pretty serious. He is bleeding out. There's not much for them to do. They don't go to a mall where there's miraculously a health pack in a helicopter. If you remember, that's how they do it in the game. They just sort of he just resigned to the fact that just for you, go get safety, go get Tommy. That's going to be your path, and then. Ellie just doesn't want to do it, but I think it was an interesting fake out of her staying at the top of the stairs and holding the door for a second and then rushing through, because the way that this episode basically, illustrates is, not letting this person go,
right?
Finding every possible last minute and sticking together, which we get later in this episode.
Indeed.
Yeah.
I'm sad that we didn't get a year indication of when this is happening back at the Boston QZ, right? But it's not too far removed from the first episode, right?
Yeah.
We recall the Fireflies assessing Ellie and making sure that she's able to count from 1 to 10 and saying her name and all that, and they're assessing her infection progress, which it doesn't progress, right? So
Yeah.
it's very close to when this actually goes down. They're doing some gym stuff. Some girls being mean to Ellie. We know that her name's Bethany later on in the episode. Ellie beats her up. Whatever. They go into, I guess, the head of this QZ, Captain Kwan.
Kwan's,
yeah.
Kwan's office. Before we jump
Please
there,
tell me,
did you hear the song that was playing in the headphones? Do you know what band that is?
I don't think so.
So that band is Pearl Jam. Pearl Jam does Future Days.
Oh, I know Future Days. Yes, I do.
Yes.
Okay.
So I assume this might be their follow up, since Future Days technically won't be able to make this timeline. So they at least have a Pearl Jam song that played that Ellie is listening to. So I found that fascinating, because we see later that these are actual tapes. But yeah, back to The Office. By the way, if you can see the pause screenshot that I have on the screen, do you see what I see?
Okay, I see 2 pens. I see a coffee cup. I see the keys.
What do you see on the keys?
What do I see on the keys? It's a little bit small. I'm gonna try and get in a little bit closer.
To tell the audience.
Is it the very left?
Keys,
oh wait! Let's go! Let's go!
Audio listeners, you had to visually see Kevin lose his mind.
Yo! Let's go! They made it!
So on the keys is the Naughty Dog logo.
Nice. Yo, that was good. That was good.
That's a good catch. I did not see that. I've not seen no one talk about that. So the fact that it's the first time that I'm seeing it is pretty wild.
All right. Here's the deal. We're recording this February 28th.
Yes.
We just need to keep the secret for about 15 hours, and then I'm going to play it out tomorrow. I'm going to clip it out, and let's see if we're the first one to get it.
Yes.
Let's do it.
God.
Okay.
Sounds good.
You may proceed. So we get this, I think, honestly, a really cool scene with Quan Ellie. You know what I'm saying? Where like you would assume the cliche of, oh, okay, Ellie's at the principal's office, esque thing of the Fedra school, and she's just gonna get in trouble for whatever, but I like how Quan like really just is like, listen, like I can do what we've been doing to you when you misbehave, right? But that's just not working.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So I just really like the way that he kind of broke this down. Like, listen, like I see a leader in you, but if you want to act like a grunt, you will become a grunt. Like that's just the path that you could go down, or you could choose another path and become a leader, become an officer. And I like the perks that he like lays out. In like, in the modern day, it'd probably be like, oh, and that's 401k and that's retirement, like whatever, right? But like here, it's like, yo, you don't have to go on patrols. Yes. You get, heating in the winter, you get cooling in the summer. You know what I'm saying? You're an officer, like you have authority. Like it's cool how like he laid that out, and like I actually really like this I really like this character and like what he does for Ellie.
Yeah, and I think he actually puts a face on the Fedra, that Fedra is not this all malevolent evil thing. There is a hierarchy that obviously has to be placed, and they feel that they are the ones that are protecting everything. If they fall, then we see what happens obviously with the other Fedra-led place that was over in Kansas City, and that did not end very well. But to see them like say like, hey, no, like maybe we are the actual answer, it does add to the many faces of all the different sides that we see. It's either Jackson is going to be the sort of like, hey, this is the answer, versus like Fedra and Firefly. So it's like it's nice to have like a third option to finally see, give them some character, because so far they've just been, hey, they're hanging people in the in the courtyards and doing awful shit, where it's like, well, no, here, if you have a place here, we're going to give you objectives and goals and life opportunities. But if you keep acting like a shithead, then yeah, you're going to get treated the shittiest way. So yeah, I thought that was interesting.
Yeah. And you're right. Like, I do like that sentiment of like, hey, like Fedra is the only thing that's keeping society
Yes.
from falling into chaos and being murderers and all that. Which like you're right, we get a glimpse of at the Kansas City QZ and everything.
Yeah, exactly.
No PlayStation hardware yet. Still holding out. We got two more episodes, but shot to the Walkman. Never owned one
shout out
before.
to Walkman.
Never,
Neither have I.
never seen one in real life. My dad used to have one. He has fond memories of his Walkman and stuff like that. So cool to see that Sony love at least some Sony hardware. You know what I'm saying? But I would
Yes.
definitely want to see a PS2 somewhere. Come on, please, please. Then we get pretty much a verbatim recreation of Riley coming into Ellie's dorm room or their dorm room, right?
Yes.
And Riley telling Ellie, yo, I want to show you something. You know what I'm saying? Like, we learned that she's been gone for 3 weeks at this point. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. Like, there are just two things I want to point out. Like, there's a cool Mortal Kombat 2 poster on the wall that kind of tees up again and has this reminding of, hey, like this is a thing in the world. So cool to get that payoff later on in the episode. And I love that this show has the recurring Savage Starlight thing,
Yes.
which like it's been reported here and there, not officially confirmed, but Naughty Dog is working on a new IP, right? There's been rumors that it's fantasy, rumor that it's sci-fi, whatever, and like there's been some speculation that like no, for sure, this is not Savage Starlight. I would love for it to be Savage Starlight though. Like I really would love that. I just think that like that'd be such a cool just callback. Like I don't know, like
It would be.
it doesn't.
Be. I mean,
Yeah, go ahead.
every game so far they've had some more mention about each other. Like Uncharted 3 had a mention, I think, of the Cordyceps thing in like a newspaper or something, which was clearly referencing this Last of Us series. Why not? If they're gonna go this other route with their next game, then it would be great if it was sort of a send up of a big fun little Easter egg thing in Last of Us.
What it is too also is like when Ellie and Sam, were like fanboying about like endure and survive. Like there's already like low key like a built-in like we're already sold, man. Just fucking make the game, bro. Like I am here for that, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Probably not, knowing our luck, you know what I'm saying? But I do like how Riley talks about liberating the QZ, right? And like this was like her desire, in terms of joining the Fireflies, right? Like her main thing, and like she explores it more. But like, do you have like anything to say on this scene in particular? You know what I'm saying? Like, I know not much happens here, but what do you got?
Not much happens, but it is interesting how we definitely get more information about how Riley's reasoning of why she's joining the Fireflies. It's like another place to belong. She's sort of falling into their messaging of, just trying to bring peace and opening up obviously what she deems Fedra to be, these sort of like fascist people, dictating what should and should be, right in this world. And so I think it is natural for them to want to fight against that. And so it is interesting to see their reasoning. The other thing I did want to point out is actually in the background of the scene, if you pay attention to the walls and stuff like that, a lot of fun Easter eggs. There's dinosaurs.
Yep.
There's little rocket ships and stuff like that, which is all stuff that will, lead to a potential museum visit in season 2. But yeah, I think that's really, really cool. But yeah, in terms of the character work, just between Riley and Ellie, these two people are incredible. Their chemistry on screen, just being friends, as well as potentially, what happens later, really sells it. Like these people know each other for a long time, and care honestly about each other's well-being. So yeah, I think that's pretty much how I'd focus it.
Yeah, we just gotta give. Let's just take a second and just give flowers, yo. Bella Ramsey, this is my first time seeing her act in anything. You know what I'm saying? I know she was famous in Game of Thrones, of course, but she is remarkable, and she continues to be remarkable in this episode.
Yes.
And a big point that I'm sure we both share and saw in the episode, but like she just plays off this Ellie having this emotion towards Riley in such like a convincing way. Like it's crazy.
Yes.
Shout out to Storm Reed. I know her from Euphoria.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Euphoria.
Of course, she's done
Searching, the new movie.
Yep.
That just came out.
Searching. Fucking incredible job as Riley. Like, goddamn. Like, holy shit. Like,
Very inspired
really good.
choice. Just killed it. Yes.
Yeah. She's really great. She's also very great as Riley. So, really nice 2 performances here for sure. They go onto the alley. You know what I'm saying? Not much here. Whatever. They like avoid a QZ patrol. Whatever. They referenced this one thing about it not being a 7-Eleven situation. Did you get that?
Yeah.
It was weird. It was like, oh, it could have been a 7-Eleven situation, but nah, I like to keep my eyebrows in one piece. I don't know.
That was a reference that blew over my face. I don't know if that's a real thing. I'm sorry. I'm not sure.
I got nothing for you there. I got nothing for you there.
Unless something exploded and that's the reference, but other than that, I'm not sure. I honestly don't know.
Riley tries to like impose some firefight notion that she learned, which is where you don't have to, fight everything and everyone, right? That like you can choose to pick your fights, right? And like that's a very interesting notion that Riley kind of alludes to her getting from the Fireflies, and that just I think gives really cool context to how the Fireflies operate and like how they think. Where and we saw in the first episode where like they're very strategic about where they pick their fights and all that, and like there's a method to all of it, right? So thought that was just cool to mention. Fuck Carol, that was funny too, Fuck Carol, right? Fuck Carol.
Carol.
Not much here, After that, we get to this again, this like reoccurring stare gag, where which I'm like, I wonder why, like. Is this just the show's like, is this just like the show's thing? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Of like having just stare. Yeah.
For me, I thought it was a Final Fantasy VII gag when they first did it.
You're right. Yeah, you're right.
But I do find it funny that maybe it's just mostly a joke. The fact that that these things have to happen in these shows, and we don't necessarily point them out often. But people travel upstairs, and sometimes they go very long distances. And now they're mentioning it's fucking 7 floors. But they do that quite often on the show, which is pretty weird.
We go to this body, right?
Yeah.
Which there's a part here that I definitely don't like, but
sure.
I like that. I think the nod to this is supposed to be Winston.
Oh, really?
I mean,
okay.
My thought is I'm thinking of the bottle, right? And the fact that we don't get him anywhere else, but like that was just my thought where we're like in Left Behind, they got the ball from Winston, which I won't go into a lot of detail about Winston, but he's in the American Dreams comic, and we see his tent in Left Behind and stuff like that. So that was the only connection I saw there, was that like they got the bottle from this person instead of Winston, but this person apparently committed suicide. He drank some of this whiskey or whatever and took some pills and such.
Yeah.
He why does he fall to the floor?
It is a weird comedic beat that happens because it's a very sad moment. They don't take it seriously whatsoever. It is a little odd. I'm not gonna lie. It's probably the most oddest thing I think in the episode.
Yeah. Like, I mean, next to like the tendrils debacle in like episode 2, like this is like in that weird, if not weirder category. I just found it so random. I
guess it's really just like it adds to like this weird thing with Ellie where she's very much just like uncaring for certain things or like sadistic-y.
No, straight up. I'm like,
and it adds to it for sure. So she's got an interesting streak in her, and I think that just adds to it. I don't know. I'm very curious. I did not listen to the Corey Cooker podcast this week, so I'm not sure. I don't have all the answers this week.
It's all good. It's all good.
But yeah, that's still interesting.
Indeed. And then pretty much after this, we go to the rooftop. Again, like Ellie having this fascination with Riley's gun, the want to see her gun, like wants to hold it. She says it's heavy, and like seems like that might have been her first time. No, it can't be her first time holding a gun.
No, they did training. And,
Yeah,
says,
they do training.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But it's just interesting. Where it's just like an open moment where you can hold this gun. Maybe they do blanks. I'm not sure, but
Right.
but it's another way for them to have this conversation back and forth and like, getting to know each other. Not getting to know each other, but just basically seeing each other and who they're becoming basically.
Right.
More of a Fedra agent in terms of Ellie, and then of course her slowly going into the Firefly.
Yeah. They have this continued like really, really great back and forth with both of their different ideologies of like Ellie defending Fedra, Riley defending the Fireflies. Like I just love this interplay with like it feels a bit like Romeo and Juliet-esque. Right, like not like
100%
straightforward, but like
capitalism on who's 100%.
Yeah, that's definitely why I was like, like this like feels cool. And like this is in the game, like this is not necessarily new, but it's just cool to kind of see these conversations happen again in the show and everything. Riley explains that because Ellie asks, like how'd you join the Fireflies anyway, and like she makes a joke first off about like Riley meeting a guy and like her saying, it's cool. I think I'll be a terrorist. Like just like funny shit like that. Just like Ellie just has like funny little jabs at the fire. It's just fucking funny as shit. Riley explains that basically like she was sneaking out of the QZ, and she was on her way back to the QZ when Marlene saw her. Pretty much just ask her, I was impressed by your sneaking skills. How do you feel about Fedra? Riley says, I think they're horrible, whatever, this and the third, as she says in the show. And then pretty much Marlene just invites her into the Fedra. Into the Fireflies.
Into the Fireflies. I found that interesting, how easily she allowed a child to join them. But also, we know right after this that she's clearly like in guard of like some of their equipment. Very dangerous equipment, might I add. I found that very interesting how quickly Marlene was willing to allow that to happen. I don't know. Very interesting. Overall, very interesting.
Damn, I never thought about that either, but like, I guess it would show kind of like the desperation that they're at that point,
Yeah.
And like, there was a little bit of like, especially with Marlene's like very intense tone in the first episode, right? Where like,
yes,
she got to get things going with the Fireflies, like things aren't going exactly her way and stuff like that. So maybe this is showing those kind of like last ditch efforts that she made. Maybe you're right. Yeah. Good point. They continue on. Oh, this montage when they're going over the rooftops. Weird music choice too. I won't knock it too hard. I get like it's supposed to be a bit of a light-hearted episode with like at its core, two teenagers going to a mall, right? And like it'd be a little bit of a semblance of like what would happen in the modern day, right? In the apocalyptic day, right? But I thought that was a weird choice of music. I was just glad you felt that way too,
Yeah, it was a little interesting. There's a lot of great music. I will say there are a lot of great musical drops, both from the game and from, of course, music drops. I will list them out because some of them were very specific, and I'll talk about those.
Fire.
But that was the one right there I wasn't so keen on for sure.
Yeah. They have this last debate too about, them claiming that each other's stories of like, what's that? Oh, that the Fireflies blew up the storage depot. And then I think Ellie says something about Fedra too, but like they're both calling each other's like comments like propaganda bullshit, just like
of course.
Back and forth, right? Riley explains that they wired up a new block because they're making room for new people to settle into apartments there.
Yes.
Which is also cool that their Boston QZ that their Boston QZ is expanding, right?
Yeah.
And that they are trying to bring in new people, but in the way of them wiring up that new block, they power the mall. They go into the mall, and not really happens here, but like I just love this shot of Riley just looking at the lit up mall.
Yes.
You know, I think it's just a very, very,
It's gorgeous.
yeah.
It's a very gorgeous shot of Ellie, and there's so many recognizable things you can see just from that one image. What I loved that they decided to not go, hey, we're just gonna make a bunch of fake stores and call them like adjacent things. We're gonna go full on and like we're gonna have like a lingerie store that is Victoria's Secret. We're gonna have Panda Express. We're gonna have the New York Company. Like we're gonna have like so many recognizable things and just have them be absolutely destroyed. There are some things that are straight from the video games that we'll get there, but yeah, it's cool to have like actual branded stuff in my opinion.
I was about to say, because is Weston's Pharmacy in the show?
The pharmacy, I'm not too sure.
Because super long story short, y'all can look into this more if you want to, you know, separately. And it's on my Last of Us iceberg as well. But in the mall scenes, they made up
Yeah.
fake companies, as you said, right? But what
Yes.
they did also was they went a step forward and made Twitter accounts for each
Oh, yeah, that's
fake
right.
company, and they all stopped tweeting on September 26th. You know what I'm saying? And like the outbreak day.
That's
So like
funny.
it's so I just thought that was a really cool meta thing that Naughty Dog did, but Naughty Dog
Yes.
did. So I was asking about the Weston's Pharmacy.
If it comes up on this, then yeah, I'll definitely take a look. This is the first of the music drops, of course, is them going down the escalator.
Yes.
Which is just aha. And this moment is great. Just her like freaking the fuck out for this escalator and just going up and down and just having Riley's like, yeah, it's
That's
a
the
thing.
escalator, yeah.
Yeah.
And then Ellie calls it like an electric staircase or whatever, like electric stairs.
Yes.
Like, yeah. This is the first wonder of the mall. They go through
Yes.
5 in total. This is the first one that Ellie deems as one of them. Great scene. And I just think that like this scene right here, you know, where like Ellie kind of like gets like flustered, you know, I think is the first indication of like, okay, like there's Ellie's feeling something more here, you know. Could be wrong, you know, just it could be just her just, you know, being overly excited by it, but like that's definitely how I took it. One note thing I totally forgot to mention too was that Riley mentions that she saw her parents die earlier in the episode on the rooftops at some point. And that's relevant because she brings up her mom again here, where Riley says that her mom gave her some context as to what happened during Outbreak Day and why some stores are fully stocked and some stores are fully looted, right?
Yes.
Riley said that her mom explained that, you know, some people looted certain stores during the Outbreak Day. Not that, you know, it's pretty self-explanatory. Like how they pointed out that like shoes were looted, which I'm like, yeah,
Shoes were heavily, exactly, just looted. But then, of course, like soaps and stuff were not.
yeah. Soaps are not.
That's funny.
Lingerie was not either. You know what I'm saying?
No,
Yeah.
they didn't deem those essential. They didn't have a shot of the GameStop, but I'm sure that the back office of the GameStop would have been absolutely ransacked.
Dude, I wanted to see it better because there's it's by the
By the carousel.
yeah by the
Yes.
I called it a merry-go-round in my notes. Why did I do
Either way, merry-go-round,
That's the same-
carousel, the same thing. Same
But
thing.
I was like, yo, can we go in there like and take a
I know,
peek?
go
It
in
was
there,
good.
see like what PS2 games are in
Hell
there.
yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Like how Ellie fixes her hair in this scene too.
Yes.
Just like little bits, like you start to see, oh, okay, like Ellie's, you know, like
Yes.
we start to see it. That takes us, of course, to the merry-go-round scene, carousel scene, etc. Great scene. GameStop in the back. You know what I'm saying?
GameStop in the background.
Love it.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's probably one of the best scenes in the entire show. Them being on the carousel itself. The music that is playing is one of my favorite bands, The Cure.
Nice. Okay.
I think it's called Friday That I'm in Love, but it's a, like a merry-go-round rendition of it. So when they were playing that, I was like, that's beautiful. My partner pointed it out immediately when we heard it.
Nice.
So
Nice.
definitely was a fun little moment. But yeah, no, this is just beautiful. CVS in the background, of course.
Yep.
Ransacked like crazy. But yeah, no, I love it. It's a horse with 1,000 lights. It's so good.
Horse with dust. Yeah. Afterwards, the carousel malfunctions like in the game and everything. But then Ellie asks Riley, like if it's feasible, like, do you think that like you could really like, liberate it, right? Like liberate the Boston zone, right? And I like how Riley says that she's heard of other QZs doing it before, and that like they were able to put things back to normal, and not be under this like Fedra authoritative type of government body, right? I just thought that was cool too. That like there's like rumors of like the other QZs are aware of the other QZs, not even just of their existence, but the different happenings in those QZs. I just think that's like super cool, to like see.
Yeah, the word's passing around, and I think they even said that like that Kansas City was like one of the worst.
Yeah, that was said.
mistaken.
Yep,
Yeah.
that was said too.
So
Yep.
it is interesting that is the word of mouth definitely coming up. Also, the girls are getting more drunk on this carousel as the show goes along, which is a lot of fun as well.
They're like, you're drunk. No, not enough. Like, yeah, all that. And then Riley gives a little more explanation as to why she left. Quan gave Riley sewage detail as her assignment when she turned 17.
Yes.
So I guess that's a QZ thing that we did not know, that, a little bit like, what was that famous book, bro? Oh, help me. They see black and white. The Giver.
The Giver
Has a very similar structure to that, right? Where like they get an assignment. Yeah.
That's correct.
Right.
Yeah, you get constructed at a certain age, and then that's one of the books I grew up reading, actually. Yeah,
I did too. Look at that.
Yeah,
high school, some good stuff in there,
Yeah, some sprinkle some stuff in there.
Some sprinkle.
You got The Outsiders, Great Gatsby, and then sometimes you get The Giver. Yeah.
Definitely Gatsby. They move on to the third wonder of the world, being the photo booth. Nothing crazy there, was a photo booth scene.
No, just a cute
like
little nod.
I see that they didn't have the Facebook thing that happens in the game, which I was like, okay, cool, bet. I figured, yeah.
Facebook didn't exist at the time, sure. So yeah.
Oh,
sure.
that's right. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Good call.
But it's the same bunny, right? That bunny.
Definitely same bunny. Yeah.
Which again, shout out to the details. The details in this episode are incredible. There's that detail. We did bypass them walking past the movie theater, which of course had the werewolf. Yeah, the werewolf poster for oh my god, what was the name?
Oh,
of the movie?
like in-game movie, right? Yeah,
yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull it up right here.
Which I think was a ripoff Twilight. I'm assuming
it's a ripoff of Twilight.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a ripoff of Twilight. I'm trying to see. The name comes up, I think, in this next section right here. Yeah, Dawn of the Wolf Part 2.
Dawn of the Wolf. That,
and it's the exact poster, which is hilarious.
Yeah, because Joel says, "Oh, is it in the first game?" I think it's in the first game where Joel says, "I saw the first one, never saw the sequel, whatever." Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
cool. Very, very, very good detail. Also, really weird seeing Riley hold like money, like a $5 bill.
Yeah,
I was like, "Oh shit,
$5 bill."
I bet that's cool. Like,
Well, we learned that she gets money in the arcade, so that's probably how she got it. Yeah.
Good call.
Yeah. Yes.
And
yeah.
Right. We're gonna get to that, but they go to the fourth wonder of the world. So first wonder was the escalator. Second wonder was the carousel. Third wonder was the photo booth. Fourth wonder is now Raja's arcade. For those that are unaware, Raja is an Easter egg from the original Uncharted Eddie Raja.
That's awesome.
The villain there, fucking fire that they kept that. So
yes,
I guess that counts as our Uncharted Easter egg. I got one with Sam.
Our second one.
Yeah, second one. Yeah, with the
Sam
leather.
one.
Yeah.
So there you go. This episode has the most in terms of Naughty Dog references.
Fire. Fuck yeah.
Fire.
Fuck yeah.
Which, by the way, I love that Ellie says this is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen when she sees the arcade.
I'm like, we can relate.
I feel
you. There's Tetris, Attack from Mars, Daytona USA. Those are the big ones I spotted. I'm sure there's more here that
Frogger, Joust. There's so many. Yeah.
So like these are all real games. I'm assuming at least the majority.
All of them are real.
They're all real.
Actually,
okay, cool.
Everything in here is real.
Fire.
Except for all these are either, at least in terms of like the games that I've seen. Yeah, these are all games that I've played. These are all things that actually when I go to there's a place here called Galloping Ghost, which you should go next time you're visiting here. We should bring that up. It's got endless rows of just arcade machines, and all of these games are there. So it's really cool to see, especially in comparison to when we get in the game. The game has a lot of fake options.
Yep.
I love that they connect it right back to the Mortal Kombat game.
Fire.
It's absolute fire.
Love how
the music, the sounds, all of it.
So I just like right before that though, they're getting coins, and I love that Ellie's like, no, like I don't want that fucking dollar bill shit. Like we need the coins. Which me as a server, I have the complete opposite. Like, yo,
sure,
coins to me are like not even money. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want coins. Like don't ever give me change. Don't need it. Whatever.
Yeah.
So I just think it's funny how like that little opposite thing there. Then they play Mortal Kombat 2, as you said. All the the sounds and such. You know what I'm saying? All that fun stuff. Ellie plays.
We theorized that actually they were gonna do like the fictional thing that they do in the game, which is like do the overlay and stuff like that. I think that would have been cool, but I think personally, I prefer this. I prefer it to be connected to actual something that we've all tangibly felt at this time and played, in arcades or at home or whatever. And for them to have reverence for it, I think it was absolutely beautiful. And I know that there are two different camps of people that think this is either propaganda, depending on where you read on the internet.
Propaganda.
For the fact that it was an ad for Mortal Kombat 2 for 12.
I mean,
just because they got it out, just because the information was released on the same, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Depending on what websites you read, Kotaku or GameStop said, this was a sweet moment. I personally think that this is in the camp of the sweet moment.
I think sweet moment because also like when they're talking about the knowing.
Yes.
Not the knowing. That's a Weekend song. What is the game that they play in the game? It's something with I forgot what's called. But clearly, like that was inspired by Mortal Kombat. I've only played a few MK games. I haven't played the OGs, the ones that are very well renowned, like MK2 and such. But like, I even knew enough about MK to be like, okay, like that's what they're referencing here in the game.
Yeah,
So yeah, fatality, really cool, really cool, really cool. Then this is my second thing that I don't like about this episode. I really don't like. Now, I like how we get this toy shop, which is from Left Behinds, but it's in the mall that we don't see in the show. It's from the
really?
Yeah. Do you? Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
When they have to get the key and she has to go to the So it's cool that they still fit that in there, right?
Sure. Yeah, that's cute. Right. I remember the scary doll place. Yeah.
I don't like them showing the infected.
Yeah.
I would much rather us as viewers also be caught by surprise when an infected comes later on and attacks them.
Sure.
I'm like,
I can see that.
Yeah. I'm like, I mean,
to me, it was the term Chekhov's clicker, where normally when you show a weapon early on, you would see it later be used in a play. Like if it's a gun, for instance, that by the end of the movie they're going to be using that gun. So we knew that in the background there was always this threat, and so they played on our expectations on it twice. They played on it when, of course, they get into this fight. Ellie storms away, and then she hears screaming, and then it just so happens to be in the other wonder of the world, which was real sweet. So I get where you're coming from, but I personally didn't mind it.
Okay,
because I already knew bad shit was going to happen.
Yeah. I just would have. I just really want it to be like a big shock of like, hey, like maybe they are alone in this mall. Like
for sure.
Maybe it's just them too. But it is what it is. They get into a little thing where Ellie's saying, hey, like I might have to go back to the QZ. I got training in the morning, whatever. Riley says, I have a gift for you. So they go to the nacho place. On the way there, I like what Ellie guesses that the gift is. She thinks that it's a water gun. Which I'm like, fuck yeah. That's a cool little reference there to the game.
Cool little reference.
Indeed. And then she says that she will go crazy if it's a dinosaur, which again, like you said already early on with the dinosaur drawing, like Ellie of course loves dinosaurs and such. Riley's chilling in like a nacho nacho restaurant.
Nacho Macho.
Is that real?
No, that is
Okay.
well, let me look that up. To be
I don't
honest with
know.
you. Is
Yeah,
that
I
a
don't
Boston
know.
thing? Because everything else is real. So I'll
Yeah.
look that up. Let's see.
But
Nacho Macho.
the gift is no pun intended, volume 2, which
Yes.
we see a brief glimpse of the first book in Ellie and Riley's dorm in the beginning of the episode, but cool that like we see this is where she got her volume 2 book that she reads to Joel in past episodes and such. I like how they don't understand the screenshot joke. They're like, that was funny as shit. I'm like, no, that's good. That's good. I'm like, nah, that's good. That's good. That's good.
Me and my partner, we died.
Yeah.
We died when we saw that.
I'm like, that was good. And then Ellie's, just being a little nosy, you know what I'm saying? Looking at Riley's possessions. Seems like Riley has crafted some pipe bombs. She got in her inventory and such and made some pipe bombs and such, whatever. Ellie claims that Riley was chosen by the Fireflies to guard this post and guard so that they can, I guess, have their equipment closer to Fedra. Right? Is that kind of
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I don't know. I do find that interesting that it's not that far because they're obviously can get to near the location. Overall, I just think that it's I assume their stash that they're using to do the bombings, right? Because they are doing the bombings in the QZ that are supposedly away from where they need to to exit from. So I wonder if that's just setting that up specifically. That she's just there, they guard it. So yeah, I don't know. I do find that interesting. By the way, I did look up a Macho Nacho. Apparently, there is a real one.
Oh shit!
So Macho Nacho Gaming. Hold on, look at stuff. There's a bunch of Macho Nacho stuff. So maybe just a coincidence. Who knows?
So they get this argument of like Riley saying that like they don't bomb anymore, whatever, and like they're not really responsible. But then Ellie finds a bomb, so puts two together. They get into an argument. This is when Riley, really gives the truth as Ellie's leaving, and it's that the Fireflies are moving her to a post in the Atlanta QZ tomorrow. So this is her last night in Boston. And so Riley wanted to say goodbye to Ellie, thus doing this whole mall excursion and such. That upsets Ellie at the fact that she's leaving and such, and then Ellie starts to walk away, right?
Yeah.
Something in, it could easily just be Ellie had to change her heart last minute and was like, okay, like, let me just go see Riley one more time, right? But also when she first gets to Riley after that point, she asks for the book. Like, first thing she asks. So I'm like, okay, like, was it because maybe you also forgot the book? Just that I thought, but what draws her back even more is the screaming that you said, which is the other fake out. To the infected being shown and stuff like that. And so this is where we get the Halloween store. This is the fifth wonder in the episode.
I was so happy. I saw the trailer. I knew it was coming, and so for us to actually get it and to have an extended scene, they actually combined this scene along with in the show. I'm sorry, in the video game, it was the entertainment store.
Yeah,
if I'm mistaken. And that's basically the combination of the two, and I thought that was perfect. That was a great way to just bring them together.
Because in that entertainment store, they have the water gun fight.
They have the water gun fight.
Yeah. So gotcha.
So this ended up being a nice clue in for that for sure.
Indeed. I like the masks that they chose. It's crazy because like those are the same masks.
Those are the masks.
Fuck,
they recreated them, man. It's wild.
Damn, what you can do with the HBO budget, man. God damn, bro. Damn.
Hey, they consolidated a lot of stuff, and they just, I know that people complain there's like not enough action on the show. It's like not a zombie show. It's mostly people, and I'm like, you know what? They put the priorities in the place where I think they needed to be, in the characters and into building out the world as we see fit as fans. Everything that they've done so far in terms of, honoring the different things that we love about this show, either being the dialogue, whether it being stylistic choices, colors, things that we recognize as fans. They did the damn thing, and I respect them for that.
I'm really with you on that, right? Like a lot of people are like asking for the action of The Last of Us. I'm like, guys, like that was gameplay. Like
Yes.
I
That was just
hear
straight
you,
gameplay.
but that was gameplay, and
Yes.
they're not gonna do. Like I know they can, but like like
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah. So
Every 2 minutes, we're not
I'm
going
with
to
you
be
on that.
fucking reaching around for bolts and shit, and then we're
Yeah,
going to
like
upgrade our guns.
yeah.
Like,
I
characters have to talk. Characters have to interact with each other.
I also share that same sentiment when people talk about like this show is being rushed, and I'm like I don't really think it really is.
No,
Really,
no,
I mean
I
like
don't
when
think
you
so at
really
all.
like I'm like yeah, it maybe feels rushed because there's no gameplay. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like I'm like. And there's no crafting, there's no upgrading, there's no scavenging, like that makes it the game.
Yeah.
So
It's little bits that you get when you're walking around grabbing stuff and you're hearing people talk, but like still, like they do such a great job of illustrating what are the main themes of the show, the game, everything that they're trying to present, and giving it to you in a 1 hour format. I mean,
yeah. I think I said this after the first episode, but it really feels like they got a bunch of people that knew the game, right?
Yes,
and they're like,
absolutely.
"What do you remember about The Last of Us?" So people are gonna say, "Yeah, the giraffe scene." They're gonna say the argument scene at Tommy's, right? Yes. They're gonna say Billstown, right? Like, and just feel like they prioritize those things, that like we most remember, and those so happen to be things that are cutscenes and things that are big moments. And yeah, I bet some said the hanging upside down in Billstown and all that gameplay stuff, but
fighting the bloater,
right? For sure. But like, there's a difference between those that we remember that are cutscene and like narrative driven, and stuff that is gameplay. And then this is not a game, So yeah, I don't know. To me, I just don't see those arguments, but that's just me.
Yeah.
They have this heart-to-heart conversation here where, Ellie kind of warms up to, okay, like you're leaving. And I really like what Riley explains, how like she brings up her mom and dad here and there throughout the episode, but like she claims that like Ellie doesn't understand the notion of being wanted, right? Yeah. And how Riley knows that through the family that she had, right? Through her mom and dad, right? And like, and like having a family unit, right? Ellie's an orphan. Ellie never had that, right? So she has never had that sense of belonging and being wanted, right? And I could easily see how Riley doesn't feel wanted at the QZ because Juan made her a fucking guard for people that are scooping shit.
Yeah.
Like I just feel like they did a really good job at like explaining Riley's wanting this to, hey, when Marlene says, yeah, I want you to join the Fireflies. I want you to be a part of this. Like there's a wanting there that I think spoke to Riley. Yeah.
There's a purpose. That's more than just guarding for, someone cleaning shit. It's changing the world, right? Changing the way the status quo is. And yeah, absolutely. And then for her wanting Ellie to be a part of that is definitely wanting. And it's clear from the get-go, this was more than just, hey, we're going to venture out in this mall. There's definitely something there that they've been quietly not talked about this entire time. And it comes out, especially in the scene that we're kind of hearing right now of them just sort of dancing together. It's just sort of like, there's a love there that they don't want to say, but once it finally arrives, then they feel it. And yeah, for sure.
So I love Ellie when she says, you mattered to me first in that conversation, like involving Riley and all that. They play they have the mask on. They're like dancing to the same song as in the game too. Same.
Is it? That's beautiful.
Same song as in the game. And then a moment that I forgot I loved is when Ellie slows down her dancing. She's not wearing a mask in the game, but here, we like see her facial, not her facial, but her body expression slow down, and she starts to like kind of like weigh on the scenario of Riley leaving, and Ellie just says, "Don't go," same as in the game, and I fucking love that. I love that. I love that. Like that's so good. And then they share their kiss,
Yeah.
And the way they both light up, bro.
Yeah.
It's fucking adorable, bro. Like it's so endearing, bro. It's so just like we're seeing it right here, but like she's literally cheek to cheek grinning, like giddy.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah, look
it's
at her.
really
Just-
great. Like, look, come on, man. Like,
she, you see the panic in her face too. There's the moment where she's like, what I just do? What did I just do? And then you just get Riley just slowly rising up, and just see this sort of like acceptance, and then they fall full on into it, and it's wonderful, and they did a great job. Obviously, immediately ruined.
just like in the game, the same on cue.
Yes.
Also, in this brief conversation, Riley agrees to stay with Ellie, and they say they'll figure it out from there.
Yes.
In the game, it's a lot more infected that come for them.
Yeah, there's a whole chase sequence, right?
Yeah.
They basically are running. It is a lot more gameplay, right? It's a lot more doing things that, make sense. And when you're playing a 10, 15 hour, 30 hour game, or even a 4-hour DLC pack. But ultimately the drama is here.
Yeah.
We already know that the clickers are fucking terrifying. And this is not necessarily a clicker. This is like what? Like an in-between, right? Like
it just looks like a runner to me.
yeah, just a runner that's like
Yeah.
gonna be on the phase way to like being a clicker possibly.
Right.
But yeah, and by the way, I love this shot of her killing it with
Bro.
instantly with the knife, dude.
Sick.
That was also.
Sick
I was
as
like,
fuck.
yep, just like the game.
Sick as fuck. Love it.
So yeah, I think that this is all the drama we necessarily needed. We didn't need 1,000 people running down the thing, and like the motion would be lost immediately.
And I think it's a little more, of the same reason why we didn't get Joel falling from 2 stories and being impaled by, like, it just seems a bit more realistic for 2 teenage girls to be overran by 1 infected, as opposed to like there was a good like 5 or 6 in the game. Like it's definitely like a handful of them,
A ton of dudes.
Yeah. Then we get this revelation of them both getting bit and everything. We see Ellie's bite. Crazy. And the way like they're so good.
Yeah.
They're so good at acting. Like how, bro? Like they like really like this is their profession. Like this is crazy.
Dude, look at that. That tear looks real. It's so fucking cool.
Oh my god. Crazy.
But yeah, they absolutely killed the scene. They made it washing over them. I'm just like,
fuck.
just fuck. This is it. This is over. Like this is nothing we do. I do love them cutting back to this moment and realizing like, no, she's not gonna allow what possibly happened with Riley to happen with Joel. Like,
right.
She will not let go. And even then, they didn't let each other go. They didn't let each other take the easy way out, which they could have easily just shot each other. Which we get more illustration, I think, in the later of this episode. But yeah, no, I adore this so much.
Yeah, we cut back as you said. We cut back to the modern era. We see just Ellie just trying to find something. We cut back again to the Left Behind DLC.
Yes.
Same way in the game, Ellie just breaking shit. She's frustrated. She's angry. You know what I'm saying? Riley's kind of like the more cool one out of the 2. And then she lays out the options, right? Which is the same thing as in the game, where we can do 1, which is suicide, which Riley does not like. And they don't like the idea, of doing that. And then there's option 2, where they said that they can keep going. They can utilize the time that they have together, whether it be 2 minutes or 2 days. And then we get the famous quote from Riley, of course. We can be all poetic and shit and lose our minds together. Fucking beautiful. Who the fuck wrote that shit, bro? That's good, man. That's good shit.
The one and only Neil Druckmann wrote this episode.
Some good shit.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe Bruce Straley. Or like wrote the
This
line in the
episode
show.
specifically.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Won't get into that yet.
Ellie asks about an option 3, which I think is in the game too, but love that Ellie gets an option 3. And I mean, in the show too, one of the other things I was kind of like bummed about, not like crazy bummed, but like we also don't really get the context of like what happened to Riley, like that's left in the air for us. Still.
It is left in the air. However, I think the show did bring up some interesting points, specifically when what was it? wasn't it when she shot the kid and Joel had to finish him off? She talks about hurting someone else. Was that Riley that she's referring to? Because we don't know the context of the story. And is it assuming that Ellie, because she's the one that does not die from this encounter, she is the one that kills Riley? Like, there is no confirmation. It's just sort of left there in the ether. I know I was listening to the Kind of Funny cast, and they kind of had the same kind of conversation. And I think that I'm curious to go back and listening to the episode where Ellie, you know, shoots the kid. More about that, if that's connected to Riley in any part of it. I don't know.
It's a good point.
You're right. It's left ambiguous.
That's a good point. Good point.
The biggest point there is obviously they say they don't give up, and this is why Ellie doesn't give up on Joel.
Right. So we cut back to modern time, you know. Me, bro, I don't know about you.
Yeah.
This is probably like an everyone thing, maybe. Probably, most likely, but I fucking hate seeing stitches. Like, I hate...
Yeah. No, I don't like seeing it either.
Quick story time. I was 17, I think, or 18. I was helping my chef move a fridge in his house, right?
Yeah.
I was supposed to lift the fridge a little bit, and we were gonna move it down just one step onto onto like a cart to move into the garage, right?
Yeah.
I grabbed the underside of this fridge. I didn't realize it was just a thin, like, yo, bro, a thin piece of metal. Like, that's it, right? That's all I had to grab. So I was like, hey, man, whatever. It'd be just for 2 seconds. Like, it's fine. What could happen, right? I do that. My chef pushes the fridge out from the step. The fridge starts to fall. And I think I have enough time to pull my fingers out from the fridge as it's falling to safety. No, the fuck, I did not. And I filleted my 3 fingers open. Very bad. So that's my stitches story. And like, I just can't, like, I hate it. Yeah, I don't like stitches. In conclusion, so seeing that, it made me cringe. I was like, oh, I don't like stitches.
Don't like stitches. Luckily, it looks like she does the magic stitch job, and he's okay. Indeed. I assume there'll be more to this maybe in the next episode. But yeah. You're right.
Yeah.
It's not a fan to watch, not a fan to listen to. It sounds absolutely disgusting.
Have you ever gotten stitches before? No?
I've luckily never gotten stitches before. But yeah, it sounds absolutely agonizing. Yeah.
Granted, like, it's quick, you know, like, it's a thing, but like when you're getting stitched, that's the fucking worst thing. I fucking hate it.
Yeah.
And that's
I watched Terminator 2 the other day, and they were doing stitch jobs on they make it look cool, but it definitely is probably like, no thank you.
It's nasty. You're like, nah, fam. And that's the episode. That's pretty much it. You know what I'm saying? I would have personally liked to have seen a little. I guess ultimately, like, what I'm.
You want to see him destroy a car with some bricks? Was that it?
Oh, yeah. I just really kind of like wanted to see a bit of an answer as to what happens after Left Behind, right? But like, you know what? It was going to be dark anyway. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So I guess it's fine to leave it up in the air. I have not seen this preview for the next episode. So we see our boy Troy Baker.
Troy Baker has some lines.
We love that. Our king.
Yeah.
Our king. Mm-hmm. Cannot wait to see that. So next week, we're going to go over David's episode. It will be dark. It should be dark.
It should be real dark.
It should be real fucking dark. You know what I'm saying? But
oh Lord.
Yeah. Overall, really, really enjoyed this episode. You know, that was a good one. Love the performances, especially. I think Storm Reed should be really just highlighted and praised for this. Bella Ramsey as well, fucking insane performance, and like they both really carried. And you're right, like their chemistry carried this episode, you know, and really made Left Behind, like, I think really, really just highlighted in the show as well. So shout out to it.
For sure.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. Got any closing comments? And after your closing comments, you may tell us where we can find you. Good sir. You know what I'm saying?
No, absolutely. Again, they're nailing it. We are now 7 episodes in, and I haven't felt like a miss really towards any of it. Obviously, there are some different choices that we would love to be a little different, but overall, no, I can't believe that they are nailing it this good. they again reached the highlight. They reached the peak in terms of like what you can do with storytelling from different medium, right? Taking the video game and applying it. Obviously, The Last of Us had the leg up of the major cutscenes. They kind of had the thing going. It is sort of PlayStation style to be cinematic, so that is true. But at the same time, this is what you do if you care about something. You apply, you give it love, the care, and tenderness that it needs. So.
Also, as I was thinking, as you were saying it, I'm kind of thinking too, like, because you had the same idea of like, yo, I wish in part one there was an option somehow to have it where they go into Left Behind in the part in the game that it takes place in, And it's kind of cool that like they made that, no, like we're going to include this into the main story too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, because I think they could have easily, I feel like, gone away with the Euphoria style, episode rule, episode, yeah. Like I feel like they could have gone away with that too, and just not have it in season one, right? But I really like they're like, nah, like we really got to tell the story here, in the season. Really, really enjoyed that. It's a part of
It adds to the relationship of Joel and Ellie as much as it is about Riley and Ellie. I think they really did a good job of combining those stories and making it essential. Yeah. Essential part of the story.
Indeed. That's about it. Mario, where can the people find you?
Of course, you can find me, like I said, over at Point in Progress. But you can also find me on Twitter at that Mario Rivera, where you see a lot of my musings. We'll hopefully be producing more stuff privately, but stay tuned for that.
Indeed. We got two more episodes, man. That's it, man. We're almost, man.
That's it, man. We're almost right. We're home.
Look at that, man. What a ride. Down below, find links to Mario's links, as well as, of course, Annie Warshing's GoFundMe for her family.
Yes.
And all of our links down below, Twitter, Discord, all that fun stuff. You know what I'm saying? I should be having PSVR 2 content up shortly. Might do an impressions, have a review for a dock that I think a lot of PSVR 2 owners should look into if they want to have a nice place to put the PSVR 2 that is accessible and charges the controllers as well. Have that coming down the pipeline as well. And admittedly too, I haven't talked about this like officially on the channel, but it is probably gonna be like a little bit less content this year. I am busy with.
You're doing the thing, man. You're working on. You're burning the candle on two ends, so don't worry.
Yeah. There's a lot, but I just
a lot going on.
I'm so bad at letting go. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like, yeah, I can do it all. Why not? Fuck it. Yeah.
Maybe you should find yourself an intern. Find yourself an intern. Give a shot. Who knows? It's their time.
80-hour weeks. Fuck yeah, man. Let's get it. Come on, bro.
You got a partner? Oh my god.
There's so many hours. Long distance at that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's a whole other you got to put double the effort. In some ways on that, in some ways, but at least that effort, there's some good qualities there, perhaps. You know what I'm saying? There's some love there. You know what I'm saying? So, it is what it is.
No, for sure. And while you're doing that, I have my partner over here telling me to leave, so we're gonna wrap this up now. Right?
Indeed. Thank God for watching, and as always, greatness awaits.
Greatness awaits.